One thing I want to be clear about is that every business, no matter the industry, is different. On the surface, they may look similar, offering the same products or services, but what lies beneath are unseen costs, operations, standards, and personal preferences. So while two businesses may appear the same from the outside, there are layers you'll never fully see or understand. The easiest way for me to explain this is with something simple. Let's say you want a cheeseburger. You can pull up to a fast food spot, roll down your window, and for $1, get yourself a thin little patty that may or may not be beef, a slice of processed cheese-like product, and hand it to you in about 2 minutes. Or you can walk into a restaurant, order a handcrafted in-house burger made with quality 100% beef, seasoned with intention, cooked to temperature, served on a freshly toasted bun with real ingredients, running you about $30. At the end of the day, they're both burgers, but the quality is different, the experience different, the expectations and the price point are different. Neither one is wrong, they just serve different people at different levels. The same idea applies to mobile bartending. Yes, the general premise looks the same across the board. You show up and make drinks, but how people approach and execute that varies. And there are levels to this. Some mobile bartenders operate in a very cut and dry way. They show up, make drinks, use standard off-the-shelf mixers providing cheap consumables, and they really don't extend beyond the bare minimum. So for somebody operating like that, charging $10 to $20 an hour could make sense. And if that works for them, cool. But then there are others like me who intentionally, well, naturally, go above and beyond. I really don't consider it above and beyond or that I'm doing the most. In my mind, it's the standard. But I just say that to say it's all about perception. Sidebar, I love my standards. I love my attention to detail. I love that I'm unwavering when it comes to what I prefer. And I love that I get to work with people who align and appreciate what I do. I operate my business in a way that suits me. It reflects what I'm inspired to do and how I want to show up. I'm really just being myself. What you see working for me may not necessarily work for you, but that doesn't mean either one of us is doing it wrong or that one is doing better than the other. It's simply preference. If charging $10 an hour with the expectation of tips works for you, by all means, do what works for you. But for me, there's too much effort, energy, and responsibility involved for that level of compensation. My rates and my pricing are specific to me. They reflect how I run my business, the level of service I provide, and the types of events I choose to take on. I've learned that low-rate events often come with very high expectations, very tight margins, meaning I'm barely making any money. It just comes with a lot of unnecessary stress, mess, chaos, and disorganization. I'm not built for that, and I'm not willing to tolerate it just to say that I'm booked. There's this general expectation that bartenders should be doing a lot for very little in return, but for me, it's a no. It's a hard no. When you're just starting out, it's easy, sometimes necessary to say yes to everything. I understand, I know, because I did it too. And while that helped me gain experience and visibility, it also taught me a very valuable lesson, and that is to have boundaries. I learned that volume without boundaries leads to burnout. Burnout, stress, dissatisfaction, and resentment, at least for me. I was working nonstop, always looking for the next event, always on go. I had no real time or space for myself because I was underpricing my service and overextending my energy. And that's just not sustainable, especially as a single mom. So yes, part of my pricing is simply because it needs to be worth my time, energy, and effort. If you've been following me for the past 3 years, you already know I've been quote unquote quitting. I'm using air quotes. I know you can't see me. For the entire 3 years, I quit. I hate this. I'm moving on. And you've probably seen me actively try other things, starting a boutique, becoming a professional organizer. And while all those things align with my interests, they still weren't gelling. Everything I was trying just felt wrong. I was in limbo, confused, I honestly felt like I was going through an identity crisis. Who am I? What are my passions? What do I love? How do I move on from this? I didn't know what to choose. I didn't know the best course of action to take to move forward. All signs said teach, but that's another conversation for another time. But what I realized is that I was trying to avoid hardship and being inconvenienced. I was just so tired and just wanting things to be easier. But the truth is, everything comes with its own rewards and frustrations. Fast forward to now, mindset shift again. I know someone somewhere is like, this girl don't know what she want to do. And honestly, you wouldn't be wrong. Hi, my name is Brittany and I'm human. But anyway, in all of my I'm quitting moments, I learned a lot about myself, especially how I perceive things. Life really has a way of humbling you and teaching you that the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And with that change in perspective, I realized that the work I'm currently doing actually puts me in a very unique position to actively create the life that I want. I just have to adjust and create it to fit me. Before, I didn't understand that I'd be forever navigating, adjusting, and getting things wrong. Fun fact, that's life. For everybody, most people will front like they've got all the answers, but they're really sway. And that's partly why I was struggling so much, because I was like, how does everybody else have it figured out? Newsflash, they don't. A lot of people are pretending. There's a lot that people show you, but there's a lot more of what they don't. Another takeaway from my lesson in boundaries, I've simply learned to have them. I've learned to have them, honor them, and maintain them. People often misinterpret boundaries and standards as being difficult, but I've learned they usually only feel that way to people who benefit from you not having them. Boundaries aren't about giving people a hard time or turning everyone away. Well, yes and no, but they're really about protecting your time, your energy, your effort, and in business, the quality of people you serve and the quality of service you provide. I've learned that growth doesn't always mean doing more. Sometimes it means doing less, but doing it better. For me, that looks like fewer events and healthier margins. That shift is what has allowed me to continue mobile bartending, not just out of necessity, because let's be for real, I still just cannot afford to quit, but I can still do it in a way I can actually enjoy it with space to do other things. I don't know why I wasn't seeing things this way before, but here I am now. Anyway, my pricing allows me to show up better for my clients, for my staff, for my son, and for myself. So if you're comparing my pricing or my approach to your own or to someone else's, just pause, because there's more than what meets the eye. My standards, my preferences. Another example, interacting with people can be very draining for me. I do not thrive in constant high volume interactions, especially with the general public. I don't do well with everyone. I do best with a select group of people. And once I understood and accepted that about myself, I adjusted my business to reflect what actually works for me. So I say that to say, if you love frat parties and you don't mind the mess and chaos that comes with it, cool. Basic mixers, some sodas, charging $10 an hour may work for you, especially if you're just starting out or just doing this for extra cash. That's cool. That's for you to do. But I'm in a different lane. I prefer lower to moderate volume and more refined events. That doesn't mean I'm never dealing with mess or chaos. It just comes with the territory. But there is a difference between bartending a frat party and bartending a dinner party with a guest list full of women over the age of 35. There's also a difference in behavior between people paying $10 an hour and those paying $100 an hour. It's not as black and white as I'm making it seem. I'm just generally speaking that basically the experience is different. Again, my pricing also reflects how I provide service. It's not just the hours I'm standing there making drinks. It's my experience, my efficiency, my crowd management, my ability to foresee issues, plan ahead, adjust on the fly, problem solve when things don't go according to plan. I charge with consideration to that expertise. I have an eye for design and organization. I'm tidy. I don't like mess. I don't like trash. I work with people who appreciate that. Every event is different. The host, the setup, the guest, the energy. Adjusting to those nuances is a part of the value I bring. Then there's this thing where clients want me specifically. They don't want me to send bartenders. They want me to stand there and bartend. There's a lot to unpack on this particular topic, but surface level, I can only be in one place at a time, resulting in forfeiting any other business. And because of that, it has to be worth it. This past year, still in my I'm quitting phase, I notice how I've been able to slow down, repeat clients, referral only events. In slowness, I've been able to stick around after the party, long after we've packed up, actually being able to talk and get to know people. Before, I was rushing from one booking to the next, annoyed, frustrated, and just trying to get it done. Some of y'all saw it. A lot of that came from me doing too much and not pricing accordingly. Then there's the product side. My per person rates also reflect the way I operate. This ranges from $19 to $25 or more per person. I make ingredients from scratch. I provide real glassware. I choose high quality disposables. Scratch made ingredients take time. It also costs more. These are all a part of the nuances people don't see. And all in all, not everyone operates at the same level of experience, professionalism, or as an actual business. It's real easy to form an LLC. So while it may seem like a legitimate business, it may lack systems, structure, and professionalism. No invoices, accepting payments through a personal cash app, no contract or service agreement. Processing fees are a thing. Money to invest back into the business are a necessity. And there's also money that's needed to actually survive. It's often misunderstood that just because a business expense like processing fees are tax deductible, that I shouldn't consider or factor it into my pricing. I still have to pay for it. Just because an expense is a tax write-off doesn't mean I shouldn't consider it within my pricing structure. Tax deductible does not mean free. It just means that the expense reduces the taxable income. If deductions meant expenses didn't matter, no business would ever go under. My pricing covers real cost, time, risk, experience, and other work you just don't see. So while mobile bartending businesses may look similar on the surface, they differ greatly. That's why I charge what I charge. And why someone else may charge more or less. Different lanes, different goals, different definitions of success.